Hello guys, it's me, Greed here. I want to talk about fun today. Now, I usually attribute fun and balance to be relatively similar because I find the idea of balance to be fun. For example, when a Winston jumps on me and is outplaying me, he's shield dancing me, he's body blocking me, he's positioning well, that to some players that might be annoying because you're kind of losing out on an interaction-ish because he's manipulating you. I consider that to be fun. I like seeing skill breathe. I like knowing that that player made a decision, jumped on me, didn't get any free value, played it as best he could, played better than me, and he got his value. That's fun to me. That is a fun interaction that I desire. But I don't consider low effort things to be fun, like Suzu and Lamp and so on. So when I'm generally talking about game balance on this channel, I'm also partially talking about fun as well, because in my opinion, game balance is fun. The game being balanced is fun to me. Now, a lot of people obviously aren't going to agree with that. So my question to a lot of people is, what is fun about certain abilities in this game? Right, like what is fun about Suzu? Who is playing into a Suzu and is having fun? Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people are saying the balance is irrelevant, the fun is more important. And I would agree, to some degree, obviously. Your balance is important. But if your game isn't fun, it doesn't matter how balanced it is, right? So, if we're going to say that fun is such an important factor for the design choices and the balance choices in the game, then why is it that Suzu is in the game? What part of Suzu is fun? Where is the fun derived from? Is it fun for the Kiriko player? I've played a lot of Kiriko. I don't think Suzu is very fun. I don't think it's interactive. I don't think it challenges my skill. I don't think it makes me make hard decisions. I don't think it really does any of that. Everything that I would consider fun about a lot of abilities, it doesn't really do. It doesn't have a lot of adaptability to it. It's kind of set in stone with what its use cases are. It's kind of very low effort. There's not really a lot of playmaking to it. So I don't find it fun. I also don't find it fun playing into it. I don't really find it fun to be like, oh, I'm diving on this Ana. She's out of position. She's mid-rotate. Oh, she used sleep badly. I'm going to get my chance. I'm going to dive on her. And then Kiriko teleports through 8 walls and then Suzu's her. I don't find that fun. And I wonder, do other people? Because if fun is such an important part of your game, why would you have something in it like Suzu? I don't get it. What is the fun element to Suzu? And this can be applied to a lot of characters. What is the fun to Hoghook? Where's the fun? Do you know what I mean? Like, what part of the interaction to Blizzard did they find to be interesting enough to keep an abrasive ability like Roadhog Hook? You know what I mean? Where is the fun? What are they saying is the fun part of that? Because I don't think it's fun. When I play Hog, it doesn't feel very good to go, if I have my hook, I'm a super deadly threat, and if I don't have my hook, I'm useless. And to compensate for that, I'm given all this overhead or this healing and so on to stay alive. But it's like, if I hook you, I kill you and I win. And if I miss, then I just try again a few seconds later. What is the fun part of it? For the Hog, maybe the Hog likes hooking people. That is fun in itself. I can see the fun in that. But for the receiving end, who getting hooked is having fun. Who getting Suzu'd is having fun. Who shooting at a Baptiste and a Lamp is having fun. Where is the fun in that? I mean, this can really be applied to a lot of things, right? Like, let's look at Lifeweaver Grip, right? This is super simple. Who is fighting a player that gets life gripped and has a more positive experience on Overwatch? I think it's zero. I do not think there is a single player on planet Earth that has ever been interacting with another player, had that player been life gripped, and had their experience improved. I think it's a negative. And I think that applies to a lot of abilities in this game. And I think that's what applies to a lot of stress in this game. A lot of people in this game talk about getting stressed while they play it. And the reason for that is, it does not feel as though your impact on the game is enough to change the outcome in a lot of cases. Now, that would be fun, right? That is fun, changing the outcome of the game, right? Like, it's the same thing for Counter-Strike. What makes Counter-Strike so fun? If you're in a 1v3 and you're playing well and you kill them all, you kill all three of them and you win the round, that feels incredible. You're like, wow, that feels amazing. That feels really good. And on the receiving end, getting 1v3'd, the vast majority of players might get annoyed about it, but they aren't annoyed about it because what happened was bullshit. They get annoyed about it because they're passionate about the game and they realize they'd made mistakes and they're annoyed at the situation or whatever it may be. But it's never the case that it's set in that was bullshit. I lost because of bullshit. They lost because they got outskilled. And therefore those players stick around for a long time. That's the reason Counter-Strike has been the biggest FPS game, the biggest competitive FPS game in the world for like 10 years. Because none of it is bullshit, all of it is skill, all of it is earned, right? Obviously, you cannot apply the exact same design philosophy to Overwatch because of the natural inconsistencies between all of the heroes and so on. It would be impossible. But you are able to have at least a level of solo carry potential in this game that is rooted in fairness. For example, if a Tracer kills me, I'm not thinking that was bullshit unless she's massively overpowered. Now, she is pretty OP right now. She is pretty strong. But I would rather have a really overpowered Tracer killing me, that feels more fair, than a really underpowered Kiriko Suzuing someone. It's not about the actual value, if you know what I'm saying. It's not like this receives one arbitrary score value of value or whatever. This one receives another one. Whichever one receives more is more annoying. It's the case that it's the amount of effort for the value. I know Tracer might be OP, but it doesn't matter how good you are at Tracer or how bad you are at Tracer or whatever it may be. If you aren't doing your job as Tracer, it doesn't matter how broken your character is, you're going to get farmed because the hero is hard to play. But something like a Kiriko, I mean, does it matter how good you are? Like, what is the difference between a top 100 Kiriko player and a bronze Kiriko player throwing Suzu? They travel the same distance, they go the same speed, they have the same effect, they do the same thing. The only thing in the scenario that is different is the timing of it, which is the problem, because it's a reactive ability, and reactive abilities are not really all that interesting, in my opinion, or that fun. It's the same thing with, like, BAP Lamp. Who is shooting at someone in a BAP Lamp and having fun? Where is the design behind these things? Because you would assume at some point they had to go, is this character fun? Playtest it and whatever. I don't see how they got to the conclusion that a lot of these abilities were fun to interact with. Like Coach Gun. Where is the fun, right? Because you can name this for a lot of things. Lucio. Where's the fun in Lucio? Well, the fun in Lucio is pretty obvious, right? For the Lucio player, it's the movement, it's the managing your auras, it's the managing your abilities, it's the interesting way that your character actually operates, it's your unique playstyle, it's your ability to have playmaking potential in the game with the speed boost and so on, all that, right? There's a lot to it, but it's mostly the movement, it's the mechanical aspect of it that's really fun about Lucio. And then, well, what's fun about playing into Lucio? Well, he isn't bullshit, he's pretty fair, he's hard to play, which is obviously going to be more interesting, because it means that if he ever kills you, it doesn't feel like you were robbed or it's lame. So there you go, there's one thing. It's also the way he actually manipulates the game around him. For example, when you see a Lucio, you know, oh, they're going to speed boost the Rhine or whatever, they're going to speed boost this guy. Oh, okay, well, I know if they pop speed, and then if they don't get anything done with it, we can counter rush, or we can do all these things. There's a lot of nuance to it, and so on. It's fun to actually fight a Lucio, because you see him bouncing around the walls, and then it's a case of, well, he's displaying his mechanical excellency in his movement, I need to display my mechanical excellency in my aim, or my positioning, or I need to get really good cooldown management or something. These, because there's nuance to the interaction. There's a lot of ways you can go. The Lucio can be wall raiding, and you can run away, you can go up to him, you can go in a room to hide away from him. There's a ton. There's not a lot of scenarios with a lot of heroes in this game where there are so many potential variations of an interaction between two heroes. But for Lucio, there's massive amounts of interactions. There's so many things the Lucio player can do, and you can do against him. That is fun. I like the variation. Winston. What's fun about Winston? Well, playing against him is fun. You don't really feel like you're getting robbed or bullshit. He's relatively simple, so he's easy to read all the time. You know where he's going to go, where he's going to jump. It's fun to shoot him. His hitbox is really big, so you can land that like hit marker sound a lot of times. You don't really feel like you're getting robbed, like I said. There's a lot that goes into these characters being fun to play as and against. And a lot of it comes down to, are you getting cheesed? Is that guy putting in zero effort and getting value? It's the same reason why Hazard is really boring, because he jumps on you, he holds block, he's putting in no effort, and he's getting a ton of value by killing you, right? Why is Tracer fun to play against? Well, counting the Tracer blinks is interesting, managing her recall, chipping her down, actually in the duel is fun, reading the blink movement, understanding the recall position. Actually, the interaction between the players itself is fun. That Tracer is displaying her excellency, you're displaying your excellency, and in a perfect scenario, whoever plays better will win. That's fun to me. That's enjoyable. I like doing that. That's interesting to me. But I don't see that in a Kiriko Suzu. Do you know what I mean? I don't see that in a Hazard block, or a Ram block, or a Sigma shield. You know what I mean? I don't see that in a Hawk Hook. I don't see that in a Bat Blimp, or a Lifeweaver pool, or a Coach Gun. There is no nuance, there's no variation or adaptability, there's no high effort, there's none of that. It's just, this value is attached to this button press, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Now, fun is obviously subjective. Not everyone is going to find the same things fun, obviously. So that's why I ask. I'm curious, genuinely. When I name all these abilities that I find to be really boring, Coach Gun, Sig Shield, Ram Block, Hazard Block, Suzu, Carry TP, Lamp, Weaver Grip, all these things, right? Where is the fun on the receiving end of these things, right? Because I can understand the argument if it's fun to hit a big Suzu. That feels impactful, feels good, feels like you had some solo carry potential. I get that completely. But the player that has their interaction denied by Suzu, where is the fun? That's all I want to know. Because you can only balance the game so well. I talk about balance all the time. But what's genuinely really important is the fun factor of the game. Now, it's really, really, really lucky that I love balance, and I find balance in itself to be fun. But I am genuinely curious, where is the fun in these abilities? And obviously in my comment section, it usually is in agreement with me. And some people disagree, and I absolutely support them disagreeing. I like when people disagree with me. I don't like echo chambers and so on. So please do disagree with me if you disagree. But I would assume most of my viewer base would agree all of these things are boring. So if someone stumbles across this video that actually enjoys going against these things, please explain to me what is the fun part of these abilities for you to deal with, because I don't get it. Mwah. I love you all. I hope you have a good day. Overwatch is actually pretty okay right now, but it's not perfect, and I wish it was. I love you all. Have a good day. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Have a good day. Goodbye, goodbye.